I think for someone like Florence arriving in Milwaukee in those days, I think, especially during the WPA period in the Depression era, there were networks that people were creating to find a way to eke out a living so people could survive and thrive.
I think the other thing to think about too for Florence, the draw of her coming to Milwaukee at that time, if she had had, a really strong connection with Charlotte in Paris in that period before the war, in the Belle Epoque period, almost everyone after the war was nostalgic for that time. They would have wanted to connect back to that moment before this great kind of universal tragedy happened. After the war, people are reflecting on their war experience. It would have been difficult for those people who had experienced the level of destruction and terror that came with the First World War. It seems like for some people, reconnecting with people who had like experience was really important. So, in imagining what Florence might have done when she came to Milwaukee, if she was involved in the Leighton School of Art, connecting with Garrett Sinclair, who was also an ambulance driver like Florence in the First World War, would have been a natural connection for her to make. A lot of people use written form, performance, and then also fine art in order to express their emotions after the war. So some people very directly took on the topic. Other people might have done more emotional or abstract explorations.
The soldiers from the Second World War were with us there, and they were wonderful. There were older people, because we were young. They were in the war, and they were older, and they had more experience. But to see them sitting there drawing, from the nude ladies and things, it was really kind of interesting because there were so many different facets to all of us coming to it with, different experiences in their lives and everything. Some of them were very talented. Some of them were just doing because they didn't know what to do with themselves after the war. It was more like therapy, because some had seen terrible things, and they wouldn't talk about them very much, but they were very kind, nice men, and had been through a lot.
I think it was difficult for women who had great talent, perhaps very complex ideas and artistic sensibilities, to find their place in the world at that time. And I think Charlotte would have been, and Miriam would have been, some like-minded people for Florence.
Charlotte and Miriam kind of created this vision of what an art school should be. They were supportive of artists individually. I think they were supporters of artists who were on their faculty and encouraged that.
I was there at a good time because we had wonderful teachers, including Charlotte. She was wonderful. She was about this high, and we had to put her on a chair in the auditorium over there so that everybody could see her when she gave us a little talk.
Really?
Yeah, she was wonderful. She was very bright. She was like a little bird. And what else can I tell you? She was a delight. And she just encouraged the students that had talent and wanted to really were serious about their work. But Charlotte was always there and egging everyone on. And she was very cosmopolitan, knew all the artists in this area in Chicago, and she had people coming in to teach us. I had Paula Gerard, who was wonderful. She taught me Silver Point. That's why all the detail is in my work, because you have to do it very up close and tight when you're working with something that can't be erased. Be very definite in what you're seeing. But she, how can I put it? She was just so exhilarating. And giving us so much support, the ones that really were serious.